Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James. How's everyone doing tonight? It is 8:06 p.m. Chicago time where I'm at, and I got on here and I figured, hey, you know what? Tonight is a great night to do a guided meditation. But to be truthful, every night is a good night to do a guided meditation. So I'm here. I'm here, and I'm streaming. I've been streaming more regularly lately, and those of you who don't know me, I am Agni James, and I stream guided meditations primarily on Twitch. I also am a chess instructor, so I stream chess puzzle rush, regular chess games, and chess lessons. And then I also have a master's in analytic philosophy, so I stream philosophy streams. I particularly like philosophy of mind, philosophy of science, and metaphysics. Those are my bread and butter. So that's me, and welcome to the community. We've also been doing some chakra balancing lately. I was in a chakra balancing work group years ago, and we went through this book as a group. We went through each chakra and did the things they said were necessary to cleanse that chakra and get a better energy flow going through you. So I did that, and we're doing that again. I'm bringing it back. Sometimes you got to bring back the old school stuff. JT Farms is here. Good to see you. My channel shaman. How are you, JT? It is. It is an early stream tonight. It is totally an early stream. I felt like streaming. I was sitting around. I was just kind of messing around, and I'm putzing around my place, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking stream. Why not? Why not stream? Why not do a stream right now? Maybe I'll go for till 3 in the morning. Who knows, right? Who knows, JT? This could be it. This could be a 7-hour stream. Are you ready, JT? This is gonna be a 7-hour stream. Better start your laundry now. Yeah, right. No, I think that would be a little bit too much. I mean, there's people that do it. Kyrie from this chat, Kyrie Aegis, he does like 9-hour streams sometimes. That's intense. That's really intense. I don't think I'm gonna do a 7-hour stream though. It's good to see you any time of the day, JT. Yeah, it's so good to see you. I hope all is well. What's going on in your world tonight? What's new with you these days? You haven't given me a fish update since those two passed away. What's been going on in the tanks? Oh, how was my day? My day consisted of having a lot of pain. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I know you lost the two. I didn't know that. So some others perished as well. Well, that's rough. I know what it's like to lose a pet. It's not easy. I'm sorry about that. What about Kit Kat? How's Kit Kat and the dogs doing? Is Kit Kat chilling out a little bit, or is she still gotta be the queen? Is she still gotta push everyone around and push the dogs around? Oh, something wrong with the tank. Maybe it's not filtering right. Because it's gotta filter out all that stuff, Hey, Herbert Smithens is here. What's up, friend? Good to see you, man. How are you doing tonight? Herbert, do you know anything about fish? One of JT's fish tanks is messed up, and her fish have been dying. Do you know anything about fish tanks? I'm trying to find out. We gotta come to the conclusion of this. We gotta resolve this mystery, right? How are you doing though today, Herbert? I don't know, JT. That's rough. That's rough. Losing a pet. Yeah, I mean, I've always lost cats. What I always do is I've always had a cat, and then that cat dies, and then I get another cat. And then I have that cat, and then that cat dies, and then I get another cat. It's weird being a pet owner, because you'll go through if you consistently buy new pets to replenish the old ones, to supplant the old ones, you'll just start going through pets the older you get, and next thing you know, you've had 8 cats, but they've all been different, and you're 100 and shit. It's can you even remember all those cats at that point? Let's see, Herbert, you say, JT, sometimes the water needs to be more salty or more alkaline or acidic. And JT say you think you need to start the tank. Maybe you should. Maybe you should just completely start it over from scratch, right? If fish are dying in it, something's wrong. Just do a complete fresh start. So it's like a reboot, you know. Sometimes, you know, you got to reboot. It's not enough to just, you know, close down some applications or whatnot. JT, you say you test the pH all the time. You think there's something else going on. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows what else is? There could be a million things going on. Hey, Danny John is here. Good to see you. Good to see you, Danny John. You finally show up. You finally decide to grace me with your presence. What's the deal? What's the deal? How was the massage? How are you doing? First of all, how are you doing? We're going to start with you. We always got to start with you, JT, with you, Danny John. We always got to start with you. How are you doing tonight? Second of all, the massage was really good. I got a massage tonight. Everyone out there should know that I got a massage tonight. This was a person who does like holistic massages. There was like really, you know, it was very holistic in her. She was very holistic in her approach. She was recommended to me actually by Danny John. So this is kind of a big moment. Her massage was really good. It was a good massage. And then, you know, when I got up to leave, there was no back pain at all. So all my back pain had gone away. But then by the time I got home, all of it was back. So I got some temporary relief. I think good things happened with that massage. I think it was helpful in a lot of ways. But you know, it's this fucking low back pain is really having a pernicious effect on my emotional, mental health. You know, I'm just trying to survive here and just be a meditation streamer, and I'm like in excruciating pain. It fucking sucks. But I will say this: the cool thing about being in excruciating pain all the time is that then you're pretty much forced to use mindfulness techniques to not be in so much pain. Like, I need to meditate more, and I need to do yoga more and qigong more, and I need to, you know, incorporate all sorts of ideas from that will help me, you know, not only help, you know, keep my physical pain in check, but also help me on a mental and emotional level. So it's, you know, you can always look at any situation like that, right? It's like, well, on one side of the coin, I want to scream all the time because I am in so much pain. And it's like, on the other side of the coin, I'm like getting, you know, a more focused mind because I have to put more time and energy into meditation, right? So it's like, you know, there's always pros and cons. And eventually I'm going to figure out this back problem, and then I'm just going to fucking have this amazing, you know, mind that can do meditation, you know, at a really high capacity, right? I feel like sometimes I can do meditation at a really high capacity right now, but it's not all the time. You know, maybe at the end of this, I'll just be fucking in enlightenment, right? But yeah, so that is the situation with the massage I got tonight. One Sluggy. Hey, One Sluggy is here. Good to see you, man. Uh-oh. Why did my auto... Oh, yeah, my auto shout-out did go through. All right, cool. I was ready to punch the screen. I always punch the screen when my automatic shout-outs don't go through. Good to see you, One Sluggy. How are you doing tonight? I hope all is well with you. What's new in your world? One Sluggy is a streamer here on Twitch. He does primarily games streaming, and travel, like outdoor streams. Like he does like walks around his neighborhood. And he, you know, he plays like 7 Days to Die, games like that. So check him out, drop him a follow. He's also a super nice, authentic dude. That's something I always say about the guy. He's just a nice, authentic dude. All right. Herbert Smithens, you asked me, have I tried foam rollers? Well, here, first of all, two things. Before I get up, I am going to show you that I can actually turn around today. I can do a twirl because I'm wearing different pants. These pants are not shredded in the back, you know, like exposing me. So look, check it out. I can actually turn. I can actually turn today, right? So it's a good thing, right? That's number one. That's the first gift I give to you. The second gift. So what I did is, first of all, every fucking morning of my goddamn life, I roll the fuck out of my IT band with this. This thing just goes up and down my IT band with all my body weight on it. And you might be thinking, whoa, well, that's a lot, right? You know, it's a foam roller. This isn't just a foam roller, though. This isn't just a foam roller. Here's a situation about this. I hollowed the fucker out. I hollowed out the fucking inside of this foam roller, and I shoved a 4-inch PVC fucking pipe right through that thing. Look at this. Look at this shit. This is PVC pipe. This is serious shit. This is serious, right? So now I fucking roll like a fucking madman on this PVC pipe. Like I dig it. I dig it as hard as I fucking possibly can into every single area of tightness and tension. I'm like digging that shit in there real fucking hard, right? I'm like just trying to like work out every knot in my body, and it's still not enough. I need a goddamn jackhammer on my fucking back. I literally need to go to a construction crew, fucking steal one of the dude's fucking jackhammers. I'll probably have to get in a fight with the guy in the process because he'll be like, why the fuck are you taking my jackhammer? And I'm gonna be like, I need to fucking like get this knot out of my fucking shoulder. And then I'll take the jackhammer and I'll just like fucking jackhammer the fuck out of my back, and then I'll be dead because, you know, it'll go through my back, but like I won't be in pain. So it will work in a sense, right? Oh God. What are we even doing here? I'm supposed to be a meditation teacher. I'm supposed to be teaching guided meditations. And this is where we're at here. Oh my God. Okay. Let's see what we're saying. Let's see where we're at here. Danny John, was the pressure hard? Pressure was not the hardest I've had. Virginia, my old massage therapist, she had the most pressure still by far of anyone else. The last massage therapist I saw had, you know, pretty good pressure too. I mean, Amanda's was pretty good, but it's not like so fucking intense. It's not jackhammer intense. I want them to stick their fucking hands so deep into my back that they literally come out the other side of me. Like if it was I want them to go so deep into like my pec that I see their hand. I want to see their hand come out my back. Like I need that kind of pressure. If anyone knows a massage therapist out there that they can do that kind of pressure, I mean, then we're in good shape. Let me know about it. All right. Let's see, where else are we at here? Herbert, you say like when Goku takes off the weighted training clothes. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You know, once his back pain goes away, then all that work I did focusing my mind will definitely come will definitely be a benefit, right? It'll definitely help me out, and I'll be like super strong and ready to go, right? When Suggy, you're doing good. Hope all is well. Yeah, I mean, I'm in excruciating pain, but my spirits are high. It's kind of funny to be able to say that, right? Because in life, we want to be able to say, well, when it's like, how are you? It's like, well, you know, my foot hurts, or well, my back hurts, or well, you know, like I have a headache, you know, like, but that's not how you are. Right now, this is a very important distinction. I'm actually going to say something of significance, you know, for the first time tonight. So, about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was sitting in my place and I got a really bad headache, and I was like, this fucking sucks. I have this headache. I'm drinking water, trying to like hydrate, and I'm like, this is annoying. It's really bad. What the fuck? I didn't want to take any medication because that's not typically my style. I try to avoid meds when I can. So instead, I sat down and I just detached myself from the pain. I said, you know what? I choose not to have this pain. This is ridiculous. I choose not to not have the pain, but I choose not to suffer. And this was an interesting moment in my life. Like a big shift occurred in my thinking in this at this moment, because there is a distinction between pain and suffering. Pain is one entity, it's one separate entity, and suffering is a separate entity. But too often, these two entities get conflated into one. And people, if they're in pain, they say, well, they're suffering, right? It doesn't need to be the case. That is something that is a learned behavior, and we can unlearn it. We can untrain our minds such that when we are in pain, we are not necessarily suffering, right? Because I'm sitting there with this terrible headache raging on, and I say, you know what? I choose not to suffer. I choose not to suffer. And immediately I stopped suffering. Like the pain in my head was still there. I was still having the headache, but I wasn't suffering from it. I was like, oh, I feel fine, right? But I'm like, I just have this pain. I was observing the pain, but not having I wasn't feeling, the pain directly. It didn't have that hold on me, right? And then something cool happened. Once I stopped suffering, the pain slowly dissipated and then just went away. And it just went away on its own. So then I was thinking about the link between suffering and pain and how the two kind of get conflated all the time. And that if we just can remember that, we can be in pain but not suffer, we have that mental capacity, we can do that, then, it's mind over matter at the end of the day. Mind over matter is a simpler way to say it. Okay. Is Joe Rogan from Chicago? I just noticed your voice is a little similar. I don't think Joe Rogan is from Chicago. I don't think he is. I don't know where he's from, but I've never heard that he's from Chicago. I could be wrong. I don't know a ton about Joe Rogan, but I could be wrong. Oh, he's not. He's from New Jersey. All right. Yeah. Cool. JT, power the mind. Yeah. There's so much. There's so much in life with mind over matter. Here's another example. And I'll bring the pictures up because pictures are worth 1,000 words. Right. That's what people say. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Why couldn't a picture be worth more than 1,000 words though? I think there's certain times where a picture can be worth like 5,000 words. Right. All right, we'll do this one because it's fun. Go to display, okay. So yeah, there is me, and I was shoveling my friend's driveway barefoot in the freezing snow. It was like fucking super cold out. And I shoveled his entire driveway barefoot in the snow, in boxer shorts. Just chilling like that, right? And that's how it went. Me and my buddy, I started doing it, and then he jumped in and started doing it, right? That's how it goes, right? It was mind over matter. I chose not to be cold. I was like freezing, right? I was freezing, and then I was like, you know what? This is stupid. I choose not to be cold, and immediately I wasn't cold. I wasn't fucking cold. I was just like fine, and I was just shoveling. It's amazing what the mind can do, right? That's another thing to keep in mind. The mind is powerful as fuck, right? All right, let's close that out and come back over here. All right, there we go. Okay, so in chat we say Danny John says, dude, lots of F-bombs tonight. Are there really a lot of F-bombs? Are there fucking a lot of fucking F-fucking bombs fucking tonight fucking? Are there really, Danny John? I don't fucking think so. I don't think there's any fucking Oh, maybe there was one there, I think. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm on TV and I get to say fuck. That's kind of cool, right? Back in the day, you couldn't be on TV. If I was like, just like, strolling into some like, daytime drama soap opera, right? Like back in like, 1995, like I couldn't just go on there and be like, fuck, right? Because like it's not allowed. But I can just come onto Twitch and just be like, fuck. And it's like, it's permissible. It's not only permissible, it's like people like, find it funny as long as I don't overdo it. But yeah, here's a cool story though. Let me tell you a cool story. So this was way back in the day when you needed an FCC license to have a radio show. I took a radio broadcasting class in high school, and there was a local radio station in my town, and it was connected to the high school, such that I was able to have me and a friend were able to have our own radio show during like one time slot. It was like noon to 1 on Sundays, and it was like in my hometown, right? So, we went in there, we just called it Metal Madness because we didn't really have any original fucking ideas between us. And we went in there and, we did our radio show, every week, every Sunday for the summer. And then the last Sunday, we decided that we were just going to go in there and just gonna tear it up. So, first of all, if any of you are into Marilyn Manson, we played the song "Fuck Frankie" unedited on the radio, which is a totally crazy song to play unedited on the radio, right? Then we started playing all these other songs with very explicit lyrics, and we were like swearing up a storm. We were just running our mouths. This lady runs in the room, is running at us. We're behind this glass pane, and we got all the equipment back there, and this lady runs over to, "What are you doing? You get out of here, get out," like screaming. She was irate. She was fucking irate. She comes in, she's like, "Your FCC licenses are gone. You're done. You're done. You're never coming back here again." And we were like, fine, this was the last day. We didn't expect to come back here anyway. And we walked out. So that was like a big moment. That was a big moment in local broadcasting for my hometown, right? Because they got to hear the explicit Agni James and his buddy who's a magician, by the way. My friend was a magician, Mike Ledizio. It was fun. So now I get to come on here on Twitch, and I don't have to feel bad about it if I drop an F-bomb or not. Okay, where are we at here? JT, you say, one Suggy, you say, do we ignore it? Do you ignore it, basically? Okay, so that's an interesting question. It's not even a matter of it's not a matter of ignoring it. If I try to ignore it, it doesn't work as well. What I basically do is I detach myself from it. So I look at I see myself from like an overhead view. So like I'm up here, right? I'm up here looking down on myself, right? And I'm like looking down at myself, and I'm like, hey, you know what? That person down there is experiencing cold, but he could choose not to. He could choose not to experience cold. Like, it's interesting to see that human being down there, experiencing cold or a headache or whatever it is, whatever X you're trying to not allow yourself to be emotionally affected by, right? So like I do that, and then I'm like, you know what? I am that person, and I choose not to feel that pain. It's a choice. I feel like we always have a choice. Once we have enough training and understanding, we always have a choice whether to feel pain, whether to feel suffering from the pain. And remember, there's that distinction between pain and suffering. They're not the same thing. Don't conflate the two, right? You can have pain and not be suffering. And you can be suffering and you could like not have physical pain, right? So those two are different. So you can be in pain though and not suffer. There's like this weird. There's like some weird moves. There's weird mental moves you can play. Like and a lot of it's Buddhist stuff. Detaching yourself from it. Herbert Smithens, you say, or no, JT, you say, are you crazy? Then you told yourself you weren't crazy, and then you're still fucking crazy. I don't know. I mean, I guess that depends on what is it? What do you mean by crazy, right? What do you mean by crazy, right? It's one of those situations, right? A lot hinges on the exact meaning of that word. Herbert, you say you red pilled them, expanded their consciousness. Can you make yourself feel something like you can make yourself not feel something? Okay, now that's a really interesting question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that, actually. Let me think about that. I've done it with not on. It wasn't my intention to do it. It wasn't my intention to do it, and these were actually negative things. So like I remember there was a time where I was like, man, my fucking, I thought I touched something. I thought I touched something poisonous. Like I think it was like poison ivy or poison oak or something. I thought I touched some, and then like. I was looking at it and I was like, oh shit, I touched poison oak. And then like my hand started itching, right? And I was like, fuck, now my hand's itching, right? And then like my buddy comes out and he's like, dude, that's not even poison oak. That's not even poison oak. And then I look at my hand that was itching and it stopped itching. So yeah, like in that sense, I have made myself feel something that's like, instead of not making myself feel something. But I don't think I've ever done it in the positive sense. I don't think I've ever been like, well, actually maybe, you can talk it up, right? You can be like, oh, I feel good. I feel so good. I feel so happy or whatever. I'm having such a good day, right? And then, if you do like positive affirmations and things like that, you'll feel like pretty happy typically. I mean, that's or not, right? Then you'll just feel like an idiot for doing it. But I try to do that. I try to stay positive when I can. Herbert, you say, LOL, true happens. Yeah, right. If you think you like touch a hot stove, you might be like, oh shit, and then you're like looking at your hand and you're like might even feel a little pain, and then like you go over and touch it with the other hand or like real quick or put your hand by it and it's like not even warm. Like I've had weird shit like that happen. It's always interesting when it does happen. Look who's here. Joker Bravo, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Now, Joker Bravo is otherwise known as Chad Guy. He is otherwise known as Chad Guy. He used to be Chad Guy, but apparently he did something bad on Twitch, right? Did you do something bad and you lost your account? Was that the deal? Or did you just did you just stop using that account? I remember there was something about there was something about your account being in jeopardy. Hey, look who's here. Aristotle, man. Aristotle. Good to see you, brother. Yes, I have. I've definitely seen Sosa hit homers. I have definitely seen. Is it now? But this is an interesting question though, because you asked this, and now I'm thinking about why you asked this. Like immediately, my mind goes there. Immediately, my mind goes to like if you got a joke, or if you're just curious, or like if you like were into that. And that was a crazy time when Sosa and McGuire were going back and forth hitting home runs. A lot of people forget this, but their steroid use saved fucking baseball. MLB was fucking done. People were so pissed at MLB because they brought the union, the strike, and they brought in the replacement players even. And like, you know, I went to spring training and I saw a bunch of fucking replacement players. These weren't even minor league ball players. These were guys from college that they brought in to like play in the majors when they were having that major fucking, you know, ridiculous, you know, a battle between the union and the players union and management, right? So everyone was pissed about baseball, and people are like, fuck baseball. We're gonna watch basketball and football and hockey. We don't give a fuck about baseball anymore. And then they fucking resolved the thing, and then McGuire and Sosa started, you know, doing a ton of steroids and jacking fucking homers and going back and forth. And it was like amazing. And it brought everyone back to baseball. And people were like, yeah, this game's great. This game is amazing. And then, you know, it was later on, you know, they found out that they were just fucking juicing. And that McGuire was juicing. And all those people were juicing. That's why, you know, everyone was hitting so many homers. But at the same time, it's like it saved the game. Steroids saved baseball. That'd be a good title for a book. Another thing about Aristotle. He's a streamer here on Twitch. He is a philosophy streamer. He has a PhD in philosophy. Super awesome, authentic dude. Super kind. He's got a lot to say. And you know, some of the stuff is really good. Some of the stuff is mediocre. It's actually usually either really good or mediocre. Like you don't say a lot of stuff that like I'm like, that's just garbage. So by the way, this is the big compliment coming from me, right? Usually, so everything's in between like you know, like really good and awesome and insightful to like, you know, moderate. All right. Let's see. Joker, you say you found out what naughty thing you did. Oh, what caused you the account? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Are you ever going to get Chad Guy back though? Is it ever coming back? Is there a way to appeal? I think, didn't you appeal it? Aristotle, you say, dude, that's awesome. It was awesome. It was totally awesome. You saw baseball history. Let me tell you one other cool fact about Sammy Sosa. And I don't think, hardly anyone in the fucking world even knows this, because it was like a real small, tiny thing that happened. But it was at a crazy moment. So there was a game. This was the year when Sosa and McGuire were going back and forth. They kept leapfrogging each other for most homers, right? Sosa got his 66th home run before McGuire got his 65th. Or no, before McGuire got his 66th. So I believe they both were tied with 65 home runs. And then the Cubs had a day game, and Sammy hit his 66th home run, right? So Sammy Sosa at that moment in time was the all-time home run leader of all for a single season. No one had ever hit more than 65 home runs. It was those two guys who had done it that year. No one had ever hit more. They broke Maris's record of 61, I believe. And Babe Ruth's record was, I think, 60. But anyways, yeah, it was like 60, 61, and then McGuire and Sosa both at 65. So Sosa held the record of all-time home run leader for, I think it was like 45 minutes to an hour. And then Mark McGuire hit one, and then he hit a second one in that game and went up to 67. And then he finished the season with, I believe, 70. And then Sammy finished the season with 66. But it is cool, though, that at one moment in time, even though it was only like, 45 minutes, an hour, something like that, even though it was just a little bit of time, Sosa was the all-time home run king. All right. Let's see. Joker Bravo, you said went to random rooms with LGBTQ's tag with the woman saying... with the woman's tag saying, "What is a woman?" Was hoping for a deep philosophical chat, but banned and reported. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. You know, I don't know. It's hard to. Okay, there's certain subjects out there right now that are very hard to communicate about. Like you really need to have like an incredibly strong gauge on the person. Like you have to know the person you're communicating with typically, and you have to say things very delicately. And if you slip up even once, you're gonna get your fucking throat slashed, right? You're gonna get your throat slit. So like there's certain subjects that are just and some of it's just, I understand, like there's certain things that are very sensitive right now in like, especially in American culture, right? There's certain things you don't want to really get into, typically, because then everyone loses their shit, and then it's no fun, But at the same time, I've been able to have these philosophical discussions about these things with people in a very civil fashion. Let me give you the tips for this. Actually, this is actually really important. Tips for starting a philosophical conversation about an uncomfortable subject. Take 1. Okay, so. Let's see. You have to, first of all, you typically have to come in asking questions. You have to like maybe ask a question, or you can be like, hey, I heard the following, and then you like say X, right? And then you say, what does everyone think of that? So like I did this on Facebook for a while. I would say something like, okay, I heard the following, Like okay, there's this notion out there. I'll just bring it up. There's this notion out there that one of my friends, she's a black girl, awesome person, right? One of my friends, she posted on Facebook, all white people are racist, right? And so like I was like, well that seems odd to me, And she's like an awesome person. She's a yoga instructor, actually, super awesome person, right? And so I was like, okay, well I want to talk to her about this, So I made a post saying, recently a friend of mine posted on Facebook that, quote, all white people are racist. What do you guys think about this? Is this the case, right? And this is a very controversial thing, especially like a year and a half ago, right? Things were like getting real wild for a while, right? And so like this was a super polemical thing to talk about, right? But I feel like it's so important that these conversations can happen, but you just got to be ridiculously tactful, and you have to be willing to like, really, if the person's fired up, you have to be willing to like let them, rage at you a little bit, and just like, like let them pour out, and just ask questions and try to get to a better understanding. Because growing up for me, that was the worst insult you could possibly call someone. Would be like any of my friends or me. If someone called me a racist, those would be fighting words, because we abhor racism. We fucking fought against that shit our whole fucking lives. We hate race. The whole concept of racism is fucking makes me and my buddies real fucking angry, right? So for me to think for my friend to be saying all white people are racist, like that was kind of like a little bit of a jab, and I'm like, but let's hear what she has to say. So apparently, and this is interesting, there's a new definition of racism that is coming to fruition. And if that new definition is adopted, then it is the case that all white people are racist. If it is not the case that new definition gets accepted by the mass public, then it's not the case that all white people are racist. So here's the difference. The old definition of racism, the one that like is in almost every single dictionary except Webster, I think it was Merriam-Webster, who's actually going to take the new modified version, right? I think they're bringing in the new modified version. But anyways, in the old definition of racism, it was basically like you're a bigot, you're someone who hates someone because of their race. It was something along those lines, right? The new definition that people are trying to get to supplant the old definition is that racism is not just bigotry and not just hating someone because of their race, but also institutional racism. Like if there's any institutional racism and you benefit from it, you're also racist. That's also considered part of racism. And there was one more thing. Institutional racism, and there was something else. But they were new add-ons. They were new add-ons to the old definition. So this major debate that ensued between a philosophical debate that ensued between me and this girl and a lot of other people who were interested. I'm friends with a lot of philosophers, so they all got to chime in, and we had a big philosophical discussion. The debate was basically hinged on which definition of racism we were using. Because if we were using the standard definition, the one that had been the same definition that I've heard my whole life, then it's not the case case that all white people are racist. But if we're using the new updated definition of racism, then all white people are racist. But then, you know, it's just this interesting thing. It's an interesting thing. So a lot of that was just seriously hinged on simply a misunderstanding of a word that was being used. Right? We were both using the same word, but using it in two different meanings. But it was cool. Once we got to the bottom of that, we understood each other better, and it made an impact. It definitely made an impact. I could see where she was coming from finally, and before I couldn't. Okay, all right. Let's see. Joker, you say felt like Julius Caesar after you took the crown. Felt like Julius Caesar. That's intense to feel like someone like Julius Caesar. Okay. So where else are we at? Maybe we should do some Puzzle Rush. I think it's time for Puzzle Rush. I'm even going to change the category. We're going to go to the chess category. Now we'll see who wanders in here. We're going to have some chess people probably wander in. You guys show them a good time. Show them a good time. All right. Hold on a second. Chess. There we go. We are now in the chess category. Bam. All right. Let's play some Puzzle Rush. Does anyone want to play a game too? Start thinking about it. After Puzzle Rush, we can do that if that's something someone's interested in. Or I could even do a chess lesson because, whoa, we got that again. All right, that's nice. There we go. Okay, I can even do a chess lesson because that's what I do, for a living. I'm a chess instructor. All right, so this is just Puzzle Rush. 3 minutes to solve as many chess puzzles as you can. It's super fast, super quick. My high score ever is 28. So I'm looking to beat 28 right here. But at the same time, on stream, I'm nowhere near as close. So if I get in the 20s, that's usually a good try. These are checkmate puzzles, win material puzzles, pawn promotion puzzles, and there's some defensive puzzles as well. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Checkmate. Mate. Black to move. Oh, duh. Mate. All right. Mate. There. Oh, I messed that one up. That's no fun. It's no fun. Come on. I think it's like, no, it's, this is pretty. A nice fork. All right, win the rook. Let's do this. And we'll do this. And then we'll win the knight. It's good to win the knight if you can. Mate. Mate. Not seeing this one. I don't know. That is it. That's kind of odd. This one is oh, I'm gonna win the knight. I'm gonna win the knight, I guess. All right. That was a little ridiculous. That they made that a little too damn hard for a Puzzle Rush, early Puzzle Rush puzzle. Like the puzzles get progressively harder as you go on. They're definitely going to get more difficult as you go on. All right, and then I can just do this. Sack the queen for the mate. Black to move. Not seeing this one either. Oh, that's sneaky. And then the rook comes up, and then you win the queen. All right. I think it's just, what, this? No, that should have worked. All right, we're doing this, I guess. And then I'll take the queen. And then take the bishop. White to move. Oh, wait, white to move. Oh, come on, come on. What is the issue here? What is the problem? Like that? No. 18. All right. Well, 18's decent. 18's not the end of the world. I'm usually happy if I can get like a 20 or something like that, but 18 is not the end of the world. All right. Let's see. I missed something. But it must have JT with LL. You want me to time you out? You timed him out for 100 seconds. You better behave when you're released from the corner. Oh, he redeemed the timeout award. Dude, that's a weird one. Aristotle, do you ever redeem the timeout award? Like, have you ever redeemed it in anyone's chat? I have never redeemed the timeout award. In fact, I didn't even know what it was until someone did it recently. Like, it seems weird to want yourself to get timed. I mean, I know it's kind of funny. I know it's kind of like funny and like, it's like, hey, just time me out, and like, but it's just it does seem weird. I know, but in a few chats it's used a lot. Okay, yeah, it probably depends on the chat, right? I mean, I could definitely see it being having clever comedic value, right? But it has to be used in the right time, at the right moment in time, right? The right context. Context is very important, as Aristotle knows. Content and context, right? Those are two things that are pretty important when we're trying to derive meaning. Some people are like, I don't give a fuck about context. You said this. You said this. You said this. You did, you said this thing. And it's like, dude, but look at the fucking context, right? What is the context of the situation? It's like, you punched a guy in the face. I saw you, Agni. You punched a guy in the face. And I'm trying to say, like, yeah, but I was in a fucking ring fighting with the guy. it was the goddamn heavyweight championship of the world. And like, I punched him in the face because that's what people in the ring do. They don't punch someone in the face on this, just at the grocery store. Or at least they shouldn't. Let's see. Aristotle, you say a context does a lot of magic in the philosophy. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. My philosophy of language professor in grad school was this guy Lenny. Totally whacked out, cool dude. Where was he? Where did he go to? He was an MIT fucking grad actually. He got his PhD from MIT. So this guy's no joke, right? He's a name. He's a big name in philosophy of language. He's also known in metaphysics. But anyways, in the metaphysics world. Anyways, he loved talking about context and content and the pair of those two fucking deriving meaning. And he was like super passionate about it and bringing in indexicals and demonstratives. And I learned a lot about philosophy of language in that class. I knew nothing about philosophy of language going into that class. And I fucking literally I got a book, an undergrad book that was all about philosophy of language. And then I read that on top of all the Stallnacher and all the other shit that I was reading in philosophy of language, all the Lycan and all that stuff, right? So like I basically got my undergrad education for philosophy of language and my grad education for philosophy of language at the same time. It was crazy. That was one of the most difficult classes I ever took. Yeah. Let's see. Aristotle used to say all the Wittgensteinians in grad school really love to invoke context and illocutionary force. Yeah, it's true, dude. I've heard those terms all over the fucking place, and I'm never even know what the fuck they mean still. The perlocutionary and illocutionary force, right? But it's they're always talking. Like I remember, what did I write about? Quasi-realism. Who's the big quasi-realist guy? There's like some dude that's pretty into quasi-realism. I can't recall who, but that's what I wrote about in that class. And here's why I did it actually. Because my instructor, my fucking genius MIT professor, when I was talking with him about what I was going to write a paper on, he's like quasi-realism. He's like, I can't even understand that. Yeah, Simon Blackburn. That's it. Absolutely. Yes, it's Simon Blackburn's quasi-realism, right? And so my brilliant MIT PhD was telling me that he could not understand Blackburn's quasi-realism. It made no sense to him. So I was like, okay, well, that's what I'm going to write about. Because here's the thing. If you choose to write about something that your professor doesn't know anything about, you have a better chance of getting by if you're not 100% accurate. And strategically, it was a good move. I got an A- on the paper. I got an A- on it. So like, apparently, like it was good enough for him because he couldn't understand Blackburn's quasi-realism either. There were a couple dudes. There was one guy in particular in the program that apparently had like a really good understanding of quasi-realism, of Blackburn's view at least. He was like trying to talk to me about it and tell me all about it, and I was like asking him questions, but we just didn't get really far. I mean, it seemed pretty bizarre to me at places. Aristotle, you say, yeah, you have no fucking clue what this guy means, what the guy means to this day. Yeah. I mean, is it even actually a thing? Like, I mean, so here's the thing. There's enough smart people that say it's a thing for me to like be convinced that it's actually a thing. Oh, I didn't switch the channel back to, we're still in chess. We're still in chess right now. I got to get better at switching these around. Unless we're going to do some more chess. Let's see. Oops. All right, there we go. We got to go back to fitness and health. That's where I come from. I come from the fitness and health category. That's who I am. That's where I'm from. We're going back. We're going back to my home category. This chess category is I'm too much of a small fish in the chess category pond, right? I like being the bigger fish in the smaller pond. Actually, I don't give a fuck. I just want to like introduce people to philosophy and meditation, to be honest. Aristotle, you say you wrote about response-dependent realism, written about by John McDowell and David Wiggins. I've heard of Wiggins. I don't know who John McDowell is. Basically, the idea that there are objective properties, but they do rely on having a perceiver to perceive them in the correct way. So there are objective properties, but there has to be a perceiver there. There has to be someone to perceive them, and you say in the correct way. What do you mean by in the correct way? Like what goes into that? There are objective properties, but they do rely on having a perceiver. I mean, so basically, do you mean like the human beings are constituted in such a way that our minds are suitable to be the perceiver of these objective properties? And when you say objective properties, are you talking about like objective moral properties or something more concrete, like I don't know, atoms, or like it's weird I said atoms, like a chair, like, or a desk, right? Like, do you think that, or like redness, or like hardness, right, or whatever, like a more objective thing like that, or do you mean like like goodness? Like there are objective properties in goodness. Like what do you? Because it's always a big question. I like, and you're an ethics guy, so I like asking ethics guys what they think about that. Aristotle, you say when you kill someone in Halo, you teabag them. What's the equivalent in competitive chess? I would say, well, it depends. In chess, it's all about the way you win the game, right? Sometimes you'll be way down, you'll be way fucking down in the game, and you'll be able to like just swindle them. You'll fucking swindle them, and it's just game over, right? I don't like I'm not a swindle guy. That's not my game. I like the long, drawn out fucking heavyweight battles, I want the games that like, no one's going for the cheap tricks. People are just going real solid and playing real strong and fucking powering their way, like, trying to just basically one mind versus another, right? You're just going as hard as you can. And because every time you make a move in chess, you're giving an idea. It's like philosophy. It's like a philosophical debate, right? When you and I debate philosophy, it's like you give an idea, maybe I give an objection, and then, you give a rebuttal to that objection or whatever, right? Like there's an exchange of ideas. Chess is the same way. I make a move. If I'm white, I start the game, I make a move, and then you have to recognize my idea, and then you have to, see my plan and respond accordingly. So in chess, if I like the long battles. I don't like the cheap tricks. Like there's some guys that do nothing but learn cheap tricks in chess. Like that's like their whole thing. They use these openings that objectively are not good, and we can actually measure that. The cool thing about chess. Imagine if we could do this with morality, right? If there was, a thing is like objective morality, and we could actually just like plug all that data into a computer, and it'll be like, hey, your action was like 7.9 out of 10, right? Or something like that, right? In chess, we can actually do that. So I can make a move. I can present an idea to my opponent, and then I can go back later and see whether my move objectively good, right? I can check that out, and that's pretty badass to have that kind of understanding, right? And then you get better because you learn from it, right? But so yeah, there's the guys that do all the cheap swindles and all the tricks and traps, and are always just trying to trap you everywhere. But all you have to do is weather the storm. You just gotta fucking plant your heels down, and you just fucking block. You block. You go into the ropes. You do rope-a-dope. You're just in the ropes, and they're using up all their fucking energy, all their little tricks and traps, and you're just calmly defending. You're just in the ropes, just chilling, defending, saving energy, and then all of a sudden, their shitty fucking tricks and traps are gonna run out, and they're gonna be in a weaker position, right? And then once they get in that position, then you come off the ropes. And you just go, right? So that's the way that works. That's what I like to play. Now, sure, there are some guys that know so many traps and swindles and whatnot. Like there's some grandmasters and some international masters that are just so good with like tricks and finding little flaws in your opening repertoire that like you're just gonna get smashed by those guys anyway. But I don't lose by tricks or traps to anyone anywhere near my rating anymore. If I'm gonna lose, it's gonna be because it's a long drawn out battle. So yeah, the way you win the game in chess would determine, going back to your original question, the equivalent to Halo. The way you win in chess would be the way would determine like how you envision yourself, or I don't know. It's actually more complicated than I thought. Now that I get into it. Okay, because you can also win on time, right? It's crazy. That's the thing about chess. It's like, my opponent has 1 minute left on the clock. I have 5 minutes. So now I can just I can do time burners, like make moves that are making their opponent have to think and wear down the clock, and then you just win on time. So like, what is that, right? I mean, you are winning. You get the points, right? But at the same time, it's like a different kind of thing, right? It doesn't seem as satisfying to me to win on time as opposed to win by checkmate. Checkmate always seems like the most satisfying. Or like, if someone resigns, that's also like the same thing, But if I beat someone on time, it's like, dude, we had a good game going. They just were moving a little too slow. Okay, let me drink a little water. Aristotle, you say, so a sunflower could be yellow, but the yellowness relies on people with vision like our own. Yep. So there's a fact of the matter about whether a sunflower is yellow. But there are conditions that have to hold to see it that way. So sunflower could be yellow, but the yellowness relies on people with vision like ours to interpret the wavelength, to interpret that yellow wavelength as yellow, and to have that experience of yellow. So there's a fact of the matter about whether a sunflower is yellow. Yeah, they're linked. They're linked to our perception. I can see that, but there are conditions that have to hold to see it that way. There's background assumptions too, right? There's certain background assumptions that you would need to hold as well. But all right. What else do you say? You say it's not pure subjectivism. You don't get to say sunflowers are red, but it's not objective in the sense that it's just out there and has no concern with others. Yeah. Well, couldn't you just say that it's part of the human condition then? Maybe you could go along those lines. You could just say things like redness or yellowness are part of the human condition because our minds are constituted in such a way that we're the ones that can see those colors, right? Therefore, it's part of the human experience. That seems like you could do it that way. I don't know. But whatever. Let's see. Aristotle, you say you won a chess tournament in high school with a 4-move checkmate. Yeah, exactly. It was bullshit and high risk, but it worked. So here the 4-move checkmate is called Scholar's Mate. All right, and you know what? Let me go over it. I will go over Scholar's Mate. I'm going to teach you all the cheapest trick in chess that works very often, right? Let me load up. All right, we're going to do... No, I don't want to play with the computer. I just need to load up an analysis board. Where are the analysis boards? I don't want to do it on Elite Chess. Let me do it over in Puzzle Rush. So, let's get, or not in Puzzle Rush. Let's get it over here. Analysis. Okay, cool. All right. Let me move this mic out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Let's get this all set up for everyone. Let me go back to chess. I'm going to go back to the chess category too, because apparently, this is what I'm trying out for a little while, switching back and forth depending on what I'm doing. I do a lot of different content, so it's kind of weird, but I got to switch back and forth. All right, okay, so display, and then here we go. All right, so here's the cheapest checkmate in chess. It's called Scholar's Mate, and I know all about this fucking checkmate because anyone who plays chess has to come to learn to defend this eventually. Otherwise they're toast, right? So now it can happen in a lot of different ways, but the main moves are like this, right? It'll start out e4, e5, right? You're gonna have like this kind of structure, right? And then I don't know, black could do all sorts of things. Let's say black plays b6, looking to fianchetto their bishop, right? That's a perfectly solid opening line, right? So let's say white I don't know develops, or yeah, let's say white develops their bishop, and then black pushes out their pawn, right? And then white brings up the queen. Now there is a major threat. There is a major fucking threat. If black goes ahead with his plan, right, and brings out the bishop to b7, it's game over. You just lost the game in 4 moves, right? You just lost the game in 4 moves. And here's the situation right here. Game over. Checkmate. All right, this is a problem. The idea is that the bishop is protecting the queen so that the king cannot take the queen, because that would be moving into check, and you can never move your king into check. The king cannot escape. It can't run anywhere to get out of check, and there's no other black piece that can take the queen, right? So it's checkmate, right? So you don't want to fall for this, and I teach this in my lessons. What I'll typically get one student that knows how to do this in my tournament, and then he'll start like mauling everyone and winning every game in 4 moves, and it just gets out of hand real quick. So I always teach how to defend against it before we start the tournament. All right, so instead of black playing a move like this, some of you might think, well, wait a minute, how can we defend the checkmate? Now, one move that looks logical, it looks like a very legit move to make, it looks like a very logical move, because it does sort of stop the checkmate, it does temporarily, would be to play g6. All right? This is a move that seems logical, but you never want to play this move because you fall for a huge trap. You fall for a ridiculous trap. Queen takes e5, checking the king. The king can't move out of check. The only way to get out of check would be for either the queen, the bishop, or the knight to hop in to e6. It doesn't matter which piece hops in. Now the queen's going to swing up here, grab the rook. It's hitting the undefended knight. It's hitting the undefended pawn. This whole king side is going to crumble, and and white's going to win the game. No problem, right? All right, so these are all things you got to be careful for. Another thing people do is they do this. Guess what? Checkmate again. You just fell for checkmate again. There's all sorts of moves people try. People try this. Oops. Hold on a second. People try this kind of stuff. Oh, I'll get my bishop attacking. Checkmate. You just lost again, right? So the question then, in this kind of position, how do you defend it? Well, there's a few easy ways. Like one really easy way, the way that I actually recommend to my younger students is simply, hey, just move out your queen. Move out your queen right here. And now your queen is defending this weak f7 square. So their queen is not going to be able to come on in here with the bishop, because if it is, the queens are going to cancel out, and you're going to win a bishop for a pawn, right? And sure, you force them to go on castle, but there's no attack coming up anytime soon, and black should have no problem winning this game. Or you can even move your queen to e7, and this is e7 or f6. These squares both work, right? The downside about e7 is that this bishop now is obstructed. It can't move past the queen. The downside about f6 is that now the knight is now the knight can't come to its natural square. The knight wants to develop here to f6, right? So those are just 2 ways. Those are 2 ways to get out to get out of it from this position. Now a lot of times black will do something else, right? Black will do like maybe this, and then you'll have this. You got to be careful, right? Because this is still going to be checkmate, right? So, but here's the thing to note: in this situation, you actually can push. You can push the pawn. Now the difference here: the white queen cannot come over here and take the pawn because the knight's guarding the pawn, right? So if there's a black piece guarding the e5 pawn, then this move is actually not a blunder, right? Because black's preparing to fianchetto their bishop and develop naturally, and they're throwing a punch at the queen right here. So those are good things to keep in mind. All right, let's get out of the chess category. We'll go back to everything, fitness and health. Oh man, it's ridiculous. If I'm gonna keep switching these channels, I gotta get more. I gotta get faster and more efficient at it. These categories, I mean. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's that. Joker, you say tomorrow ASMR? Maybe. I don't know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James. Today, we are going to do a guided meditation. In this guided meditation, you will feel peace and love. I will not lick the microphone. I promise. I will not lick the microphone. ASMR, that's intense. I don't know. I don't know if I have the voice for ASMR. Some people don't. Some people don't have. Some people have the voice for radio. That's what they say about some people. I don't think I have the voice for ASMR. Aristotle, you say, "Damn, that opening is way more powerful than you thought, dude." It is. Scholar's Mate is really strong. If students haven't seen it before, one student and I've had this happen I don't know, countless times. I've been teaching chess for over 10 years, for 11 years. And so countless times, one student will learn Scholar's Mate and they'll win every tournament game by Scholar's Mate, even though I'm teaching. I did a lesson about it, the week prior, right? It's crazy. And I'll even say, so here's what I do now. And this is a little bit more effective. What I say now, when I'm teaching this lesson, I preface it with, okay, everyone listen up. So, imagine this. You sit down for your first round of the tournament, and you're staring at your opponent, and your opponent makes a move and you make a move. And your opponent makes a move and then you make a move. And your opponent makes a move and you make a move. And then your opponent makes a move and it's game over. You just lost in 4 moves. How would that make you feel? You would get 0 points for that round of the tournament. And then it gets kids' attention. It gets people's attention. They're like, oh, well, that would probably not make me feel good, right? And I'm like, well, there is a 4-move checkmate called Scholar's Mate that some students in this class know and are going to try against you in the tournament. Now, it's really easy to defend. All you have to do is pay attention to what I'm going to teach you next, and you will not fall for this, and you will not lose in 4 moves. But every time I teach this lesson, we start the tournament the next week, and there's always at least one student who didn't pay attention. And that student loses to Scholar's Mate. And then that student typically gets really upset. And then sometimes they even cry or crawl under a desk. So I don't want you to be that student. So pay attention when I'm teaching this lesson. Now, ever since I've upped the ante and I give that whole preface to the lesson, the percentage of students that fall for Scholar's Mate has decreased substantially. But it still happens. There's still some kids that refuse to fucking pay attention and they lose in 4 moves and then they start crying and crawling under their desks. Okay, let's see. Joker, you say, oh, whoa, eat your heart out, Amaranth, yeah. I know, I got maybe I do have the ASMR skills. Maybe I'm not appreciating, how amazing and seductive my voice is not just seductive, but calming on the calming. I have a calming voice. Agni James has a calming voice. He's looking at you right now. He's looking at you. He's looking. How are you? I think I'm having too much fun with this. I think I really am. It's maybe a little too much fun. Aristotle, yeah, I'm laughing too, man. All right, so I'm officially out of water. I'm gonna go refill my water. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do some. Let's see. We'll do some meditation. Yeah, unless there's something crazy that happens in chat. I'll be right back. All right. All right. We are back. We are back in business. All right. All right. Hope everyone's in comfortable clothes. Everyone needs to be in comfortable clothes, by the way. Feel your shirt. Is your shirt comfortable? Like this is a comfortable shirt. Here. And it's got a good design too. This is a good shirt, right? I love this shirt. But anyways, it's comfortable, right? So you got to go with the comfortable clothes when you meditate. Aristotle, you say, do you date, Agni? Are you prowling Chicago, or are you exclusive with sex workers who throw themselves at your windshield? Yeah, that's right. You were in my last stream when I was talking about that, man. Currently I'm not. I'm not dating anyone. Those of you out there, Agni is available. Come on by. Come on by. Come on by. I'll interview you. I'm taking interviews to date me. Like that's how I do it. I take applications. So people, I'll get like 50 applications in the mail a day because I'm a famous streamer, right? So I keep getting all these applications, and all these emails. People are sending me like headshots and all this stuff, right? And then I'm trying to weed through all the applications, but it's just so hard trying to find someone, who's good enough. You know what I'm saying? It's just really, really difficult. I mean, I'm working at like 50 or 100 applications a day. That's a lot of work. I have a whole secretarial staff. In the back room right there that are just going through these applications and weeding people out. I mean, it's harder to get a date with me than it is to get into MIT's philosophy PhD program. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Like, I have no empirical evidence to support this claim. I can't give you a logical deductive proof to explain it and to prove that the conclusion must follow from the premises because it's a valid argument. I can't give you any of that, but I can say I'm pretty sure it's the case. Okay. Let's see. JT says, can you play a chess game first? You're still changing the sheets. Yeah, absolutely. I'm down for chess. Definitely. Let's see. Aristotle says, any oil princes in chat, right? Yeah. I mean that's kind of how it goes, right? I wouldn't date. I don't think I date a prince though. I am exclusively attracted to women. It's like, I know it's like not cool anymore. It's like not a good thing. And like, people think you're boring, but I'm a boring dude. What can I fucking say? One of my trans friends called me boring, a year ago. And it was like, it blew my mind. I was like, am I really boring? I'm a fucking boring guy. He's like, yeah, you're boring. You just like women. That's like boring, dude. You never know. You never know what's going to happen, right? There's a redeemed suggest a poll. 1,000. Would Agni find romantic partner before World War III? Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Poll. Let me set it up. I'm going to put woman because it's easier to type. All right. And then for responses, yes. I like the simple. I like the binary shit. Yes and no. Some people like maybes. Fuck maybes. Fuck maybes. I don't want a maybe. I want a yes or a no. Like, what do you think? You're always going to have like over 50% in one of the leaning in one of the ways, right? Let's do this poll. All right. All right. To Aristotle, you say, yeah. That is such the case, man. That is totally the case. That is totally the case, dude. Yes. Yes. And you know what? It's like, I'm concerned, like, whether these things can even be talked about nowadays. Like, I don't know what can be talked about, like, I might offend someone if I read it on chat. Okay, let's see. How are we doing on this poll? 5 people, 83% so far. Okay, let's keep going with the poll. We got like 20 seconds. 83% are saying yes. This is interesting. We're down to 71%. We're down to 71%. Can I vote? I want to vote. All right, cool. So there were 7 votes. for yes and 2 votes for no. It would have been awesome if there were 10 votes total, because I like round numbers, not round numbers. Well, I like more even numbers. Wait, more even? Doesn't even. They're both even numbers. You know what I mean? I like 80s, 10s to the 10s, like 80s and 80%. 20%. That. But 78%. That's pretty good. Okay, so I guess the chat thinks I'll find a woman. The chat thinks I'm going to find a woman. Okay. Let's see. Joker says, who's going to be the asshole and pick no? Well, you, of course, man. Chad guy. You must be thinking I'm not gonna get a girl. Aristotle, you say, plus in our society, a woman groom a lot. Absolutely. They look great, smell good. It's a real thing. It absolutely is, man. It absolutely is. But I groom a lot too, which is kind of interesting. I groom a ton. Like there are some days where I will take 4 showers. There are days when I do Bikram yoga. Like I'll wake up in the morning, I'll work out, I'll do shower number 1, right? Then I'll go to work. I do shower 1. Then I go to work, and then I'll come back and I'll go to Bikram yoga, and then right after Bikram yoga, I'll go upstairs to the changing rooms and I'll take shower number 2. And then it's because it's so hot in Bikram yoga, it's like 105, and you're like working your ass off, and you're like going so crazy. I'll drive all the way home. It's like a 15-minute drive. I get in my place, I'm still sweating. I'm like sweating all over again after taking that shower. So I'll take a 3rd shower, right? So now I've taken 3 showers, right? And then let's say I stream and I get like really pumped up, I'll start sweating profusely during the stream. Like some of you might have seen me, I'll be like just dripping. I'll be like all intense and going crazy, right? And then I'll have to take another shower because I like to go to sleep when I'm clean as well. So some days I take 4 showers. So I'm a pretty clean dude. In my mind, you would not believe how clean my mind is. All right. Where are we at here? Sometimes, actually, to be fair with myself, because I'm working on being more loving and kind to myself. Actually, my mind is pretty clean a lot of times. But there are times where obviously, the ego takes over. Let's see, Joker, you say, what's the longest relationship I ever had was 8 years. That's the longest one by far. Then I had a second long relationship of 4.5 years. So those are the 2 longest relationships. So what happened was I went to, as an undergraduate, I was in a relationship for 4.5 years. I met this girl the day before my first day of classes freshman year, and we dated the entire time through. And I switched majors, so I had an additional semester that I had to stay in there. So I dated her the entire time I was in college. And then we broke up pretty much right after that. And then immediately after that, I started dating another girl, and we dated for 8 years. So basically, there was a 12.5-year period where I was in a relationship the entire time. And then since then, I've had just, excuse me, I've had like some 6-month relationships. I think 6 months or a year was like the longest relationship I've had after that. Excuse me. All right, that was a little ridiculous, but that's where I'm at right now. TikTok. Yeah, right. Should we do some TikTok action? Okay, I got to play a chess game. I'm going to do a chess game because that's something that my channel Shaman recommended, and I think it's a damn good idea. We're gonna go back to chess though. I keep switching categories because if I'm playing a chess game, I should be doing chess. Does anyone in chat want to play, or does anyone want to, or should I just play a random person? Let's see. Joker, you say, have you seen A Beautiful Mind? Yeah, absolutely. It's a good movie. It's a quality flick. All right. So I think I'll just play a random game on Elite Chess. All right. So this will be a 10-minute game. It's going to be 10 minutes. And I always play like garbage when I stream. And I always get like really angry. I'll play like garbage. A lot of times the recurring theme that happens is I'll be playing really good and I get up. And then I like start running low on time and I blunder and lose everything. And it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. Then I get mad, and then we do meditation, and then I'm calm and peaceful. And then sometimes we talk a lot afterwards, and I get like wired up again. So that's like the pattern. And it can deviate from that pattern too, but that's just kind of what happens. Kind of what happens. All right. So let's go back to the chess. Get the old school chess loaded up. Whoa. Oh, okay. So I see what's going on. I see what's going on now. All right. OBS wants to mess with me again. So OBS likes to mess with me every now and then. There we go. Okay, we're good. It seemed not too bad today, actually. Hasn't been fucking with me too much today. Okay, so yeah, and I'll try making it instructive as well. I'll try making it instructive as we play. So let's do this. All right, 10 minutes. 10-minute game. Let's see how this goes. I'm black. White always has the advantage because white gets to go first. So let's see how he can do his black. All right. Is this guy going to make... Okay, so he just made a really fucked up move. This is not recommended. I mean, A4 is definitely like a weird move to make. So I'm taking control of the center. All right. That's what I did with my move. He is gaining control over B5, which doesn't really do much at all. Right. So I'm clamping down on this square right here. This is the E4 square. I have two pieces clamping down, gaining control over E4. Right. That's the idea. And now I just do simple development. Can like just develop a knight. Nothing crazy here. So he's going after my light square bishop. I got to think, well, do I want to lose the light square bishop? I don't want to lose the light square bishop, actually, to be honest. So, well, I could do a tempo gainer. All right. So I am going to allow him to take my light square bishop. The idea is I move my queen out, and then he takes, and I recapture with the queen, and then I have piece activity. But it is tough losing the light square bishop this early in the game for the knight. I'm not going to let him. I'm not going to let him. His knight is kind of off sides right here. This is a fucked up piece. This is a fucked up piece. My pieces are much stronger than his right now. I'm ahead in development, and I should not be. Yeah, this is a terrible move. This guy is not making. He's definitely not impressing me at all. Okay, let's just play within the structure, I guess. Opening up the bishop diagonal, right? I can come over here, throw in a check if I want. I'm playing solid. So he's playing this kind of garbage stuff. I'm playing solid. That's like what I see, what I'm looking at right now. Okay, so now here I push out. The idea is if he takes, I will recapture with the bishop, and I will have a major advantage because I'll get my bishop developed for free. So look, now notice the two pawns cancel out, and I got a free piece developed. So I gain time there. That's an important concept in chess, to gain time. Okay, so he's pushing out another pawn. I feel like I should be able to punish this. This just seems like a really bad opening. How can I punish this? Okay, so wherever I move this knight to, I'm going to have a discovered attack on his knight, right, because of my queen. So maybe I should develop my knight. All right. I'm going to develop my knight. And now he's looking at playing this. He's looking at playing that. And then if he does, oh, this is cool. Okay, so he's going this route. This is super weakening. These two squares now, he has major dark square weaknesses. Okay, so I love that. I love the fact that he just did that. He just put himself in a terrible position, and I have a tactic. I have a winning tactic. Who sees it? Who sees my winning tactic? I'll give you guys a few seconds to think about it. Here it is. Remember when I moved the knight, I opened up a discovered attack on his knight. And it hits with check. So I just won his knight. He's in check. I'm real close to checkmate because I'm gonna come up. He's gonna move his king. Then I come here, check. He comes here. Let's see. Is there a finishing blow though? I could come here and check with the knight. Let's see. Check, and then he's got to come here. And then how can I get another check in? I want to get my knight developed here, but that would be two moves, and he could do a lot in that time. Maybe I'd be better off checking his knight here, or checking his king here with my knight. I think this is better because I'm going to win the rook. I have the fork. So notice I'm on the king and the rook. The king is going to have to move somewhere, and then when it does, I'll win the rook. It's just a nice straight tactic. Now, but here's the thing about chess: you always have to see if there's something better. Maybe there's something better even than winning the rook. Like, do I have a checkmate threat? Right? You want to see these things. These are like important things to pay attention to. I mean, I'm just gonna take the. How could I not just want to take? It's just a rook. It's a free rook just sitting here. I'm already up a knight. I'm up a rook. I mean, I don't know what he can really do at this point. My queen's ready to come up and then put pressure right here on e3 with the bishop because his bishop is currently blocked. I have all sorts of pressure on him. Okay, so yeah, he's doing that. Now he opened up a discovered attack of his queen on my knight, right? So it looks kind of scary, but I can play this first. So this is like an in-between move, right? So I throw this in here, check. Now he's going to have to come to like a really unhappy square, or he could block with the queen or the bishop even. But it's definitely not looking good for him. Okay, so he had to go to a really unhappy square right there. Now I can take this bishop with check, and sure he'll recapture, but I'm okay with. Hold on, I'd like to. Oh, I see something cool. Yeah, let's just do this. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna drop the knight. I gotta calculate this. This hits with check. This hits with check. So I'm gonna take with check. He's got to get out of check. His only way is to recapture. I don't know. Yeah, so he's got to recapture. Now, oh, this is pretty. So if I can get my knight right here, it's game over. This is a checkmate. This is a checkmate. The king will be in check, and he'll have no way to get out of check. So I'm going to sack my knight. Let's see if he goes, because I get development. I get development of my knight, and now I'm threatening checkmate. I have a checkmate in one threat right here if he goes ahead and takes my knight. There we go. Checkmate. GG. Good game. All right. So let's do a quick analysis of that. I'll just show you the beginning. I mean, my opponent made this. This is not the move. I mean, this is really not the move. So white has an advantage, right? If white simply plays e4, white has a 0.2 advantage. White has a little bit of an advantage because you're gaining control of the center. If you play d4, you know, it's just even apparently. But he played this garbage, and now he's got I have the advantage. I have a 0.3 advantage. When it says negative, and black has the advantage. When it says positive, white has the advantage. All right, so there. He just made that terrible move. I just gained control. I wonder what I should have done here. It says bishop to e4. Wait, bishop to e4. Wants that. All right, whatever. That's fine. Whatever. My stuff worked too. All right, and then, yep. I knew he shouldn't have took. That was a mistake. Right? Push. Now we have this, and then yeah. As soon as he did this, as soon as I notice when I move my knight, it opens up this discovered attack on his undefended knight. Right? So he just didn't see that. And the cool thing about it too is it hits with check. Right? And that's the key. And I'm close to checkmating him then. All right, cool. Let's come back here to OBS. All right, we're gonna end the chess category. We are gonna be done with chess, and we're gonna go back to fitness and health. All right, let's see. We're back. We're back in the home fitness and health category. There we go. There we go. I feel more at home too. Okay. Let's see. Joker, you say, oh wait, you said you were in the Skull and Bones, a college fraternity. I was in a college fraternity. I was in a college fraternity. It had nothing to do with skulls and bones though. It was just a bunch of dudes that like to party basically. Let's see. Aristotle, you say, Agni, you should play Floppy Jimmy in chess. He plays him. Oh, cool, man. Yeah. I'd be down to play him, dude. Totally. I don't know Floppy Jimmy at all. I mean, you're the guy that knows him, but you know, like he, yeah, I'm always down to play. He might beat me. Like, there's a lot of dudes out there. I'm not like sometimes I think people think I'm like this amazing chess master. I'm not a chess master. I'm a good chess player. I'm like, a strong chess player, but I'm like nowhere near grandmaster level or international master level. I mean, I have gotten draws against masters, and I've gotten wins against experts. So guys that are like 2,000 plus rated on USCF rating. But like I'm not like the best player in the world or anything. Aristotle, you say not really good game. You kicked his ass. Yeah, dude, that guy was not an expert. That guy was definitely not an expert. Hey, Voka Samasta Sakina Bhavantu, how you doing, friend? Good to see you, man. How's everything going with you? I hope you're doing well. I hope all is well with you. It's always good when you come around. JT, you say thanks for waiting for meditation. You're really in need of breathing tonight. Yeah, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna go turn the air conditioner. I'm like ready to start dripping sweat, and I don't want to do that right here. So I'm gonna turn the air get it a little bit cooler in my place, and then I'll be right back. So just give me a second. All right. Loka Samasa Sakinu Bhavantu, you say you're doing great. Thank you. Hope you are too. Yeah. I mean, at the beginning of the stream, I was talking about the fact that I'm in excruciating back pain, but I'm not suffering. And this is an important distinction. I'm going to say it again. If you were here earlier, this is a cool thing to think about. So I think all too often people so there's pain right here, and then there's suffering right here, right? There's pain and suffering. And all too often people conflate pain and suffering. They think they're the same thing. They think they're one entity, when in fact pain and suffering are two disparate entities. They're very different. Those things are they're not bound. You can be in pain and not be suffering, and you could be suffering and not be in pain, right? So it's important to realize these are different things. It's also important to realize that with the power of mind and mind over matter, a lot of times you can be in pain and not be suffering. Right now, my back is absolutely screaming at me. I'm a ton of pain. I don't want to take painkillers, but this has been going on a while. So I've just basically been having to go like all in on meditation and yoga and things like that to like make the pain less. I'm seeing physical therapists. I got a massage today. I've been going to the UIC pain clinic, all sorts of places, right? And it's like we're not making any progress, and it's frustrating, but we can use mind over matter to try to not suffer when we're in a lot of pain, right? That's an important concept to understand. Okay, Joker, bravo. So you say, oh, please, Agni, you're the reincarnation of Bobby Fischer. Dude, Bobby Fischer was first of all, he was, when all is said and done, he's probably like the number 2 chess player of all time. Secondly, he was also a psychopath. He was really, really fucked up in some ways. Which I guess is kind of on par, right? Because I'm pretty fucked up in some ways too. All right, I think we're ready for some meditation. All right, we're doing it. So I always come out here. I'm always full of energy. I'm always intense. I'm always waving my arms around and animated. And then we slow things down. And we go inward. To the place of peace, love, and joy. At the core of our being. Find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged. Or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a position that is comfortable for you. And then gently close your eyes and take a few slow, deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, slowly raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, slowly lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Breathe in, gently raising your belly. Breathe out, lowering your belly. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Focus on your breath count. Visualize yourself sitting on the tallest mountain peak. Watching the clouds float through the sky beneath you. Two clouds move together and merge into one. And one cloud stretches apart, dividing into two. These clouds move through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. These clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist for a while in conscious awareness, before disappearing from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Focus on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds floating through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. And return your awareness to your breath. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be cognizant of your breath count. Your essence is love. Your love is manifested as light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. Awakening the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. Until all of humanity is glowing radiantly together as one once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eyesight. Focus on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, picture them as clouds floating through the sky, eventually disappearing from your mind. And return your awareness to your breath. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the love that emanates from this location. And the warmth which surrounds your love. Experience the perfect peace residing in this place. And the joy which accompanies it. Breathe in, allowing yourself to feel the love one more time. And breathe out, releasing any fear and worry from your mind. Focus on your breath count. The human experience is difficult for all of us. Living in this phenomenal realm, we are bound by sensory experience. But the things that we can perceive with our senses only exist within duality. And from the context of eternity, time doesn't exist. But while we think that we are here living the human life, we can choose to be more peaceful and calm within. And using meditation and yoga to do so. Is the best approach that I've found. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which hinders your evolution. Focus on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, picture them as clouds floating through your mind, eventually disappearing entirely. And return your awareness to your breath. On your next breath, travel all the way down to your center point. The place at the center of your being. Feel the perfect love residing in this location. And the perfect monism that exists here. For in this place there are no separations or divisions. For here we are all of one mind. In this holy place, no opposites can enter. Because what is one can never be two. In this place, we recall the eternal vibration. As it fills our hearts with joy. And we experience this divine love. In a state of perfect connection and communion with all of creation. Focus on your center point. And when you're ready, travel through. I'll see you on the other side. Here, at your center point, you remember your true identity. At your center, you remember how you came to be. Here, at your center point, you recall your divine purpose. To spread your eternal love and light to all whom you encounter. Awakening the love and light within each individual. So that their love and light can merge with all others. One by one, every person will have eternal love awoken within them. as we reunite as one once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego, which obscures your third eyesight. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all stress and tension from your mind. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all existential angst from your being. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all fear and worry from your mind. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this sacred space with me. I am honored and humbled to be here with you as your meditation guide. I hope you feel more peace, love, and light in your lives. And I hope you have found this meditation beneficial. All right. How was that for everyone? I know I'm definitely more peaceful than I was prior to the meditation. I was a little worked up before the meditation. Now I feel I have that Zen energy going. Feels good. JT, you say thank you, Agni James. Well, thank you. Thank you, JT, for being my channel shaman. Thank you for all that you do. I love you unconditionally and appreciate you. And let's see, Joker Bravo. You said, have you discovered your back pain worsening with certain foods? That's what you did for analyzing spondylitis, which is arthritis for the spine. Interesting. So my new physical therapist gave me an elimination diet. So I'm going to be trying that out. So we'll see. We'll see. It's weird because a lot of foods that I eat quite often, I'm not going to be able to eat for a while. So I'm going to give it a shot and see if it helps. It's a 30-day diet where I'm only supposed to eat certain foods. So, we'll give it a shot, right? Look into Mark Hyman. He's an MD that specializes in gut health and the causes of pain inflammations. Mark Hyman. All right. I will. My physical therapist has been talking up all about gut stuff. She knows. I'm sure she's told me about this stuff, or not about Mark Hyman, but about the general idea. She says that there's this fascia that runs throughout your entire body, and that it's connected to different parts of your body, like your large intestine, your small intestine, and different places. And that if there's inflammation, if you eat something that causes inflammation in your intestine, what it does is it can pull that fascia and kind of put pressure and strain on your back. So I've been listening to her, but I'll have to check out Mark Hyman on my own too. Mark. All right, cool. Thank you for the tip. All right. Well, let's see. It's time for a little chakra balancing. All right, so I need to refill my water, and then I'll come back, and we are going to go through the sevenfold journey, reclaiming mind, body, and spirit through the chakras. This is a book that we're using for our chakra balancing group. I've used it in the past when I was in a chakra balancing workshop or group. So yeah, we're going to come back in just a minute. So I'll see you all in a minute, and we will. All right, we are back in business. We are back in business. All right, it's time for a little chakra balancing. So we've been going through the chakras. We're still on the root chakra. We're still on the first chakra. So if you didn't get to tune in to any of the previous episodes, go back. I got some homework for you to do. Go check out all my VODs when I was going through all the chakra balancing, and you'll be caught up and ready to go. All right. So yeah, now we're going through putting it into practice, right? We got to put stuff into practice, right? It's important to do that. So we already went through the body and home. Now we're going to go through business. Business is associated with the root chakra. So business is the expression of the first chakra. And I think they mean a broad construal of business right here. What you do to attend to your business life will vary greatly, but simple things might involve clean and reorganize your desk or files, make a new business card, apply for a loan or pay back a loan, ask for a raise, put out a new ad, open a new branch, hire an assistant, or invest some money. The general idea is to improve your connection to business by giving it focused attention and to increase its ability to provide you a solid, comfortable foundation. Pretty cool. All right, that was a short one. Now we're going on to finance. All right. Similar to business, but more personal. Balance your checkbook, consolidate your accounts, do an analysis of your spending, make a list each day of what you spend money on, and draw it up as a graph. How much for food, rent, entertainment, gas, clothing, etc. Watch this for a month. Make a budget for yourself if appropriate. That can totally be interesting and good advice, I think. If you're, but I feel like I have my finances under control. I don't know. I think this is more for if you have trouble with maintaining a positive balance in your bank account. Okay, we're going on to possessions. You're going to want to consolidate your possessions. Fix that switch on your electric saw. I don't have an electric saw. I need an electric saw. I don't know. I got to get one of those. By the way, are we still in chess? I hope we're not in the chess category anymore. No, we're good. We're in fitness and health. All right, cool. All right. But anyways, give away old clothes. That's something that I like doing, giving away my old clothes, donating them. Have a garage sale. Buy something you've been wanting. Make a list of items you would like to have in the future and prioritize, remembering that manifestation is what the first chakra is for, and being specific is one of its methods. As you prioritize, think about what you need them for, what you can do to get them, and by when you would like to have them, such as a new car by next winter, a new home in 5 years, etc. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna stop there. I'm feeling like we're gonna stop the chakra balancing there. I'm feeling like this is a good place to stop that for now. All right, we're gonna do a puzzle rush. I'm not gonna switch it because I don't want to waste the time. What if I can move? What if I still can move? What if you still can move? What do you mean? Sometimes you can't move, like during the meditations? Like, I don't know. Oh, what if you still can't move? Oh. Well, that's good. It's good that you had a good experience in the meditation. You're obviously able to type. You're able to move your fingers, right? I think you're joking with me, right? I hope you can move, right? I'm stuck and flying at the same time. Well, that's intense. I don't know. I don't know what to do in that situation. How about I think a puzzle rush will save us. Let's try a 3-minute puzzle rush, and then you should be unstuck and grounded at the same time. All right, let's do this. We're gonna go puzzle rush mode. All right, let's come on over here. Got to go puzzle rush. I think we got everything set. Yep, looks good. Okay, and I'm gonna recline in my chair a little bit because my back's feeling ridiculous. Let's see how many I can get in 3 minutes. Checkmate. Oh, just get out of check, obviously. Mate. Oh, white to move. Mate. And then we have mate. Check. Mate. think this one is... What is this one? Oh, duh. All right, all right. Come on. Come on, Agni. Got to get these. Got to get these. Check and mate. All right, we're going to do this and this and that. And we're going to take with check. That's the key. The keys are taken with check. Black to move. We're going to mate them. Checkmate. Check. And that's cool. Skewering the, or forking the queen and the king. There we go. And I think this is it, right? Yeah. That was the idea, folks. That was the idea. Oh, I'm going to win the bishop. No. It's not quite going to work. Oh, I load up. Oh, come on. That should have worked. Maybe not. Maybe not, right? Sometimes I really want it to work, right? So, check. And then this. And there's no way to stop this power. That would have been mate. He had to sack the queen. Okay. All right. Okay. What do we got going on here? So this looks weird. What's the move here? Come on. What's the move? I don't know this one, apparently. Oh, yeah, I do. Remove the defender. You know, oldest trick in the book. Oldest trick in the book. Remove the defender. Remove the defender. All right. I don't know about the old... Maybe it's not the oldest trick, but maybe it's like the second oldest trick in the book. And then this will be coming up for mate. And then we have... Check. Oh, that was terrible. What am I doing? All right, we'll do this. And then this. And then this. All right. White. Oh, I got 20. All right. Well, I got the minimum amount that I'm satisfied with, which is 20. So yeah, we did it. We got it. We pulled in a 20. All right. JT, can you move now? We got to get the camera back in focus though. There we go. We're good. All right, JT, can you move? Are you able to move now? Like, I'm a little concerned. You said you were flying and you couldn't move. I gotta be concerned about these things. Disclaimer: if you are, I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer in my channel and on my streams. If you are flying and can't move, if this results from one of my meditations, then, you know, so be it. JT, you say, oh, hey, Loco Samasa Sukino Bhavantu just tipped $5. Much appreciated, friend. Super appreciated. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, all right, cool. All right. JT, you said, have you ever slept in your meditation room just because you can't move? No, I haven't. There have been a couple times where I've fallen asleep while meditating. Like, I meditate right over there. When I meditate in this room, I don't sit in a chair. I just sit in like half lotus. But yeah, there have been a couple times where I have fallen asleep. You don't want to fall asleep when you meditate. You want to obviously stay awake and do the practice. But, you know, if you're operating on no sleep, you know, it can happen. All right, cool. All right, so let's play another game on Elite Chess. I'm going to load up the chess category now. Because no, I don't want to keep switching back and forth. It's really annoying to do that. I'll do it like a few times a day. So let's load up Elite Chess, and we'll play one on Elite Chess. And you never know what you can get on Elite Chess. Sometimes your opponent is a grandmaster because it's anonymous, and sometimes your opponent is a newbie. So you either get the noobs or you get the grandmasters, or anywhere in between, right? So we'll see how this goes. All right. Those of you who don't know, I'm a chess instructor too. So this is my game that I love. Okay, we are going to play, create a game, standard 10 minutes. And I'm going to explain what I'm doing. Well, so this guy again, these guys are weird. Like, why Why would he play that move first? Doesn't make any sense to me, man. Is he going to develop his knight here and then go after my... Okay. This guy's going in for some cheap tricks. I get the feeling that this guy's going in for some cheap tricks. He's going to be bringing his knight here and targeting... a lot of guys like to come in here and target c7. It's not really... I mean, it works on low level and for low level play, right? So let's see. Let's do this. He'll probably bring out his knight right here. Oh, he's not. He's not doing that. Now I like to do this move. Well, actually, hold on. Or I could push out, try to take some space in the center. Yeah, let's see. This is what, and then the queen can always come over to B. All right, so we got this kind of structure, right? All right. So we'll take here. The reason I took there was because now I get to take here and gain a tempo. So I get my knight developed. It's on the queen. It's attacking the queen. Oh, now he just lost his queen. So, well, that was kind of ridiculous. And he just left. The dude just comes in. He moves super quick. He makes all his moves in like 10 or 15 seconds, and then he blunders his queen and leaves. It's a victory. All right. We're 2-0. We're 2-0 today. That's pretty good. That's one way to win a game, right? That's one way to win a game. Yeah, Voka Samastu Sakina Bhavantu. I know. That was a victory. I got a victory there. It was pretty. I mean, it's not saying much though if your opponent blunders their queen and on like the seventh move of the game though, right? But it is what it is. I still think I had an advantage. Let's see. Let's go back and analyze. Like, all right. So in this position, hold on, I got to go to the analysis board. Yeah, I'm winning. I'm up a little bit. I'm up. It's about even. This game right here is currently even, right? So I take this way, right? Yeah, it was. He needed to take with the pawn. If he takes with the pawn, he's fine. Actually, I mean, I have a little bit of an advantage if he takes with the pawn, right? He's got. I have half a pawn advantage, right? But he took with the queen, and now I have a full point advantage. And then then I can develop with tempo, right? Develop the knight. And now it's killer, right? Because a lot of people don't understand that in chess, if you can get your pieces developed faster than your opponent, that's an advantage, right? So when I get to develop my knight, I gain what's called a tempo. I gain time. So I'm now attacking the queen, so he's got to move the queen. Now, even if he moved his queen like to the square they recommend back, he still now has moved his queen twice. And notice I haven't. So then I would play like knight out, and I would have 3 pieces developed, all real strong. I'd have a very strong center. I'd be killing him on development, and he's white too, which is the important thing to know. White should always be ahead in development because white gets to go first. So this was just a major advantage for me early on. As soon as he took with the queen, and I gained that tempo at least. All right, let's go back. Oh no! You can't see. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's okay. So what I meant was, all right. Let's here. Let me actually put it in. So this is what I meant, basically. Okay. To sum it up. Not that one. To sum it up, all I meant was that. So my opponent should not have taken with the queen. Since they recaptured with the queen, I was able to develop my knight and throw a punch at the queen, and then the queen's forced to move a second time. So I gained time. I got a piece developed for free while he has to move his queen again. Right? In this situation, he blundered it and moved it here, and then I just took it. But he could have moved it to a better square, like c6, right? If he moves it to c6, I'm sorry, c3, that's a better square for the queen, right? But I'm still up. I'm still up a pawn and a half, a point and a half, because I have more development than him. I have a stronger center. I have more development. And I even have a safer king, too. So, all right, now you all can see. All right, so with that being said, let's see. Okay, yeah, we're suffering because we can't. I know. That's kind of ridiculous that happened. All right. What else are we going to do? I've been streaming for 2 hours and 24 minutes. Let me check out one thing real quick. Okay. Well, this is cool. Let's just do this. Let's close up shop. One of my favorite streamers in the fitness and health community is streaming Infinity. And let's give them a raid. So let me do the raid call. They are Twin Flames is awesome. Her friend or her fiance is also amazing. So let me get the raid call going. So send them love and light. And yeah, I'll stream again maybe tomorrow or something. And we'll get more streams going. I mean, I want to stream as much as I can, but I obviously can't do it every day. Okay, Loka Samasa Sukinu Bhavantu, you say, you're not that good at chess. Agni is making you like chess, though. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, chess is a really interesting game once you get to know it. Once you really start to understand it and get into it, it can be amazing. It's such a great game. So, all right, here's the raid call. Oops. 1 second. There we go. All right, Raid City. We got Raid City. So we're going to send Infinity a lot of love. Let's raid them. They are friends of the channel. I think most of us here know Infinity. We're going to raid Twin Flames. All right. Thank you all again so much. Locus Masters of Kino Bhavantu, thank you so much for the generous tip. Much appreciated. JT, thank you so much for being an amazing channel shaman. I appreciate you. I love you all unconditionally. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Try to spread more love and light in your lives to the people around you. It's really important at the end of the day. Thank you so much again. Namaste.